Hello, I'm Medovoi, founder and CEO of AltexSoft. In the fifth episode of our series about product growth in travel, it's time to talk about the lifeblood of any business: revenue streams. Where to find sources of income in travel and how to develop them. But before we begin, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Ready? Go! It is generally risky to rely on a single source of income. It's twice as dangerous in the travel industry, which is highly vulnerable to external crises. Pandemics, wars, economic downturns, and tech disruptions test the resilience of travel businesses over and over again. Many of them don't make it, but others transform, diversifying their revenue streams. Let's examine various options for earning money, starting with the absolute basics. Everybody knows that airlines sell flights, hotels sell rooms, and cruise lines sell, cruises. Yet, things are not as simple as they may seem. Take, for instance, airlines. Ticket sales is certainly their core and most obvious source of income. The truth is that after paying huge operating expenses, this revenue stream literally dries up. Labor accounts for over 30% of all operating costs, followed by fuel with over 20%. The remaining 50% are costs of aircraft owning and renting, professional services, landing fees, and others. In 2023, IATA calculated that carriers made $2.25 per passenger on average. That's barely enough to buy the cheapest cup of coffee at Starbucks. IATA also announced that after the COVID-19 downturn, a net profit margin of 1.2% is something to celebrate. That said, even in the good times, the business of flying people around doesn't bring the big bucks. Airlines must come up with ways to offer competitive prices and not remain at loss. No wonder they were the first in the travel industry to introduce sophisticated revenue management practices in the 1970s. Among other things, carriers pioneered dynamic pricing, the art of changing rates in response to the level of customer willingness to pay for a particular flight. There is a study showing that dynamic pricing boosts airline revenue by 1 to 4% over traditional pricing, a windfall for an industry with such thin profit margins. Hotels are another early adopter of revenue management and dynamic pricing. They try to make the most of their core product, rooms, following the same principles as airlines. Book early or during the low season and get a bargain. Book last minute or during busy periods and be penalized. Interesting fact, Robert Cross, who built a computerized dynamic pricing model for Delta Airlines in the early 1980s, later did the same for leading hotel chains, Marriott, Hyatt, and IAG. Today, both airlines and hotels can apply advanced machine learning models to forecast demand and set prices accordingly. But even with the smartest technologies available, travel suppliers don't count on their core products only. Just imagine that rooms may bring hotels less than half of total revenue. In the same way, many airlines generate the lion's share of their earnings from non-ticket sources, and one of them is additional services, or ancillaries. Ancillaries cover multiple things people pay extra for when traveling. When it comes to air travel, consider an ancillaries extra legroom, extra baggage, priority check-in, in-flight Wi-Fi, you name it. Low-cost carriers were the first to spotlight add-ons as key profit drivers. In 2006, Flybe and Ryanair pioneered fees for checked-in baggage. It was unheard of. Travelers definitely were unhappy about the innovation. People asked themselves, why should I pay extra for taking a suitcase? How could anybody go on vacation without their stuff? But this primary dissatisfaction couldn't stop the process. Baggage fees became the norm even for legacy carriers. Today, money from bags makes up over 1/3 of ancillary revenue for full-fledged airlines. The two other most profitable streams are seat selection or upgrades and fees for changes and cancellations. Other services generate a comparatively tiny fraction of income. But you know what? A recent study by Skyscanner Horizons shows that travelers are ready to spend more on insurance, better in-flight meals, entertainment, and access to airport lounges. Sounds like a great opportunity for airlines to develop these revenue streams. Another promising revenue stream is in-flight connectivity. According to the Passenger Experience Survey by Viasat, 83% of travelers would rebook with an airline if it offered fast onboard Wi-Fi. Speed is critical here, since people expect to watch live sports and play video games while flying. Many passengers are ready to put up with advertising or engage with loyalty programs in exchange for free internet. Hotels also rely on a wide range of ancillaries, which include meetings and events, food and beverage services, transportation, ability to select view and floor, all kinds of amenities, spas, parking, laundry, concierge services, and so on. Many industry players have been talking about this so-called attribute-based shopping. It allows travelers to choose which hotel ancillaries they want, from picking a specific room rather than a room type, to deciding whether they want to pay for breakfast. Check the video on ABS that we made with our friends from Hudson Crossing. Hotels introducing such services will surely earn not only money, but something much more valuable: customer loyalty. Speaking of loyalty, it converts into a separate and very significant source of income. Most people don't realize that some premium airlines earn more money on award points than selling flights or extra services. The return on investment from the largest loyalty programs hits 60%, while the ROI from the overall business is only 5%. They actually saved American Airlines and United Airlines from bankruptcy in the middle of coronavirus pandemic. So, what's the secret? It all started in 1981 when American Airlines, United, and Delta, one by one, launched their loyalty programs. The rules were simple: fly more, get more. Convert miles into seat upgrades, discounts, or free flights. Nowadays, rewards often depend on the money you spend, not the distance you fly. This approach favors travelers who buy first or business class. But more than half of the Miles Program members' rack up come from non-flying spending. How come? Carriers resell their travel points to numerous partners: hotels, car rental companies, and banks. They, in turn, use those points to incentivize their customers. You can earn airline miles on Marriott stays, Lyft rides, or Apple purchases, to name just a few options. Yet the main cash cows for airlines are co-branded credit cards tied to loyalty programs. For example, in 2023, Delta reaped $6.8 billion via its partnership with American Express. Moreover, the carrier proudly revealed the total charges on Delta's Amex cards reached 1% of the US GDP. Sadly for me personally and other loyal customers, Delta in 2024 began restricting access to its premium lounges for Amex cardholders and making it generally harder to gain status on its program. Anyway, even with some million members disappointed, loyalty programs and co-branded cards will remain a high-margin source of revenue. Running them is obviously cheaper than taking passengers around the globe. You don't need to invest in fuel, airplanes, or their maintenance. Besides, co-branded cards continue to generate profit even when people stop flying or traveling at all. No surprise, hotel chains are also building partnerships with banks. Say, IHG Hotels and Resorts squeeze about $100 million yearly from its partnership with Chase. IHG authorities guess that Marriott and Hilton make 10 times more, but it still doesn't compare with the profitability of frequent flyer programs. Hotel chains see much room for growth here. Now that we have discussed the main revenue streams for key travel suppliers, let's talk a bit about travel resellers and their traditional source of income, commissions. How do travel agencies make money? They charge a commission for each travel product sold, but not all commissions are the same. Flight bookings bring little to no money since airlines shrank their payments to middlemen. Hotels are much more generous. They typically pay a commission of 10 to 15% per booking. Reselling car rentals provide a modest income, but you can earn quite a lot on ancillaries. Commissions here hit 40 or even 50%. So by leveraging different suppliers, travel agencies accomplish two goals. They cover all segments of the journey a customer may be interested in, and they balance unprofitable products with those promising great gains, and eventually put in the plus column. Okay, enough revenue talk for today. Next time, we will look at more innovative revenue streams that travel businesses actively use to pad their bottom line. Meanwhile, leave likes and subscribe to our channel, and see you next time.